We've got 1 year to go before the next election. Reporters are really trying to plan exactly how we're going to face what could be a monumental election for the U.S.
Let me hear it. Ready? Make America great again.
1 year from today, whatever it is, I think it will represent this sort of seminal moment in the country, whether it's reaffirming Donald Trump or whether it's going in a completely new and different direction.
Reporters aren't exactly sure what's going to happen because we saw the political playbook completely upended last time around.
What a night!
And a complete earthquake.
President Trump is trying to do that again. He's trying to defy the odds, defy the polls once again.
So far, most of the primary the candidates have tried to take it almost in a vacuum where they don't talk about Trump a huge amount.
I'm not a master fisherman, but I know bait when I see it, and I'm not going to take it.
They haven't talked about impeachment. That's started to change, and certainly it will change as impeachment becomes sort of the main topic.
I think impeachment is going to last several months into the next year, and we do expect that to dominate much of the narrative over the next year.
Impeachment could affect the race in quite a number of ways. First, you'll have senators, of which there are still multiple senators in the Democratic primary, who will be forced to relocate to Washington 6 days a week to be part of this trial that would take place in the United States Senate. That would prohibit them from getting to Iowa and to New Hampshire and to South Carolina and the states where they really want to be focusing their attention.
There's not a lot of expectation that the president will be removed from office. It takes a two-thirds vote in the Senate, but it could dominate the narrative that comes out of 2020 as the president tries to gear up for re-election.
It could also have quite uncertain impacts on Joe Biden. He is at the center of this whole impeachment inquiry. It's possible that Hunter Biden is called to testify in some sort of way, perhaps Joe Biden himself as well.
The president's re-election campaign actually started back in January of 2017 officially.
I stand before you to officially launch my campaign for a second term as President of the United States.
He was the first president in modern history to start his re-election campaign officially right after being sworn in.
I think the first key date is Iowa. I mean, as political reporters, we've spent a lot of time trying to look at the different signs for which candidate is doing better, which candidate is raising money, which candidate is drawing crowds, but you really don't know. And 2016 taught us that more than anything. You don't know until voters start to cast their ballots.
We do expect him to shift into almost full-time campaign mode over the course of the next year as we head into the spring of next year and into the summer, where he's going to have his nominating convention in August.
South Carolina is also a very big moment, in part because Joe Biden has largely been at the top of the polls because of his support among African American voters.
The next president of the United States of America, Vice President Joe Biden. Hey, folks.
South Carolina is the first state where African American voters play a huge role. And that will be a test on whether how deep that support is, particularly if he enters that contest after having lost Iowa and New Hampshire.
What we learned from the last election is not to make too many predictions about how elections go. So I think we're all going into this with an open mind that the president could definitely be reelected, or we could end up with a new president-elect a year from now.